Hello YouTube friends, welcome back to another episode of Auntie A's Kitchen. I'm just a home cook who loves sharing with people simple, delicious recipes that you can cook here in South Korea using South Korean ingredients. If you're new to the channel, hi there, 안녕하세요. Welcome to everybody wherever you're watching. I hope you're having a great week. Today, it needs no introduction, I'm going to be sharing with you a traditional English Banoffee pie. This has lots of layers of deliciousness. It starts off with a crunchy biscuit base, then a caramel that melts in your mouth, a layer of bananas, and then a layer of light and fluffy cream, and then on top of that we're going to sprinkle some crunchy maltesers. Hands down, this is my favorite dessert, but please don't take my word for it. Make this for your friends and family, and don't forget to leave a comment below once you've made it and let me know what you think. Simple to make, so let me show you today a traditional English Banoffee pie in South Korea.
The first thing I do is melt some butter in a pan, but you could also easily just melt it in a microwave. Next I measure out some digestives and get these blended up into crumbs. You could use any biscuit as long as it is crunchy. You could also add some ground up pecans or other nut to the biscuit base. I then add the butter until my consistency looks like wet sand. If you don't have a mixer, don't worry, you can crush up the biscuits by hand and then mix together in a bowl with the butter. I line the bottom with some baking paper, and then with some of the butter residue from the pan, I coat the inside of my pie tins. For today I'm making one medium size and one smaller size pie. Feel free to make whatever size pie that you would like. As usual, I will put a link in the description for the measurements and the size of the tin that I'm using today. Once you've divided out your biscuit base, using the back of a spoon, press the biscuit into the side and the bottom so that it is compact. I personally like the biscuit base to have a raised side. Not only do I think it looks good, but you then have a strong base in which to hold the layer of caramel. Once you have prepared the base, place it into your freezer or fridge while you prepare the caramel. Next, place some dark brown sugar and butter into a pan, then on a low heat melt them both down, stirring continuously. Make sure you have already measured out your condensed milk so it's ready to go when you need it. Once you can feel that the grains of sugar have melted and your mixture starts to bubble, add your condensed milk and then continue stirring. Both Emart and Home Plus stock this condensed milk and it's great to use. In this next stage, it's very important to keep stirring and not to take your eye off what's happening in the pan. On a medium to low heat, I continue stirring my caramel, occasionally taking it on and off the heat to check the consistency by lifting the spoon out of the pan. As soon as the caramel starts to bubble, I then cook it for about 1 minute longer. It's important not to overcook your caramel or it will become grainy. Then, as you can see in the video, I turn off the heat and leave this on the side to cool down a little. It will thicken up as it cools. The caramel has cooled down, so I remove the biscuit base from the freezer and pour over the caramel. It has already started to thicken and is looking wonderful. Once all of the caramel is inside my pie tin, I pick it up and then tilt it to the side so that the caramel runs to the edges. I then use a spoon to even out the surface. The final thing I do is pick up each tin and knock it on the surface a few times to remove any air bubbles. All the hard work is now done. I cover the pies, put them in the fridge and allow them to cool for about an hour. What's great about this dessert is that you can make the base the day before, then a few hours before your guests arrive you can put on the finishing touches and it's ready to go. I personally like to leave it until just before I'm ready to serve, that way the cream and the bananas stay extra fresh. First thing I do is whip up some cream until it's nice and thick. If you don't have an electrical mixer, then just whip it up by hand. Then I cut up my banana. You can brush some lemon juice onto your bananas to stop them from going brown, but I have found that this is never needed because once you serve the Banoffee pie, it is eaten very quickly. It really is aju mashaser. I put 2 layers of banana over the caramel and then cover this with the cream we whipped up earlier. There are different ways to decorate this. You could just place the cream over the bananas, leaving the biscuit base exposed, or as I like to do, cover it completely. For the final stage, I like to sprinkle some crumbled up maltesers onto the cream as I think this adds another texture to the Banoffee pie. If you can't get hold of maltesers, just use some grated up chocolate. Just take this recipe, make it your own and have fun decorating your Banoffee pie in different ways. The final part is to remove your pie from your tin. If you're using a quick release like me, then it's very easy. If you're using a cake dish, then you could also just leave it and serve it inside the dish. So here we have a traditional English Banoffee pie. The combination of the gooey caramel, the crunchy biscuit base, and the refreshing banana flavour will have everyone you serve this to asking for seconds. This is the perfect treat for an afternoon tea time, served with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. A quick tip when cutting this pie, clean your knife after every cut and it will give you the perfect slice. If you've never tried this, then I know you will love it, and as you've seen today, it's effortless to make. Thanks for watching today. Please like and share this video with your friends and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great week. God bless. Chobokhamnada.